Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jan Moses back here with another episode of the Salary Cap Report. We're currently live on YouTube. We got our new promo, the Barons of Ball, but I'm not trying actively, at least on stream right now, to get this new agenda set done. I'm instead trying to wrap up Salary Cap, at least for me, in round 2, which is getting to that 2,500 point total that we need to get that final Shattered Prize piece, the second Shattered Prize piece of round 2, which will put me in a position to only need 2 more in round 3, which will get me my second and final 92 plus Hidden Gems card from playing Salary Cap this season. Wanted to go over a few of the different Salary Cap changes that we've seen since I last logged on. And if you notice, my lineup is completely different, and it's actually completely different than it was about 20 minutes ago on stream when I had just won my first Salary Cap game of the day. We had Austin Rivers coming off the bench at point guard and Mario Chalmers starting. I had Pau Gasol in here. I had Eduardo Nahara in here. Eduardo Nahara has gone up to 2,000 salary, which is a little annoying. I thought he was a pretty good value at 1,500, but at 2,000, that's not great. When I'm looking at these players and I see them go up in value, like an Amethyst going from 1,500 up to 2,000, I view that as me effectively losing a Sapphire player, a guy like an Otto Porter, a player who's really good. You know, Otto Porter, Marquise Daniels, right? Yeah, Marquise Daniels, Josh Childress. Sapphires that are at 500 salary who provide a lot of value on my team. Same thing with a Channing Frye, even though I make fun of him all the time whenever I'm playing Salary Cap. And so I've decided to make a change, even though, again, I won my last game pretty handily, because I felt like Pau Gasol has kind of been struggling a little bit. You know, he doesn't really have a good jumper at all, even though he has a makeable three-point shot rating. And I'm bringing in Jarvis Hayes, and I want to show you guys why in a little bit, so just, hold that thought for a second. I want to show you the rest of the lineup, because Brandon Jennings is now back in the lineup. He was, I think, 4,000 plus in salary last week when I last checked. He's down to 2,400 salary. You can see that there at the bottom of the screen, which is really nice, because just by benching Pau Gasol and benching Eduardo Nahara, running now a smaller lineup with Jarvis Hayes, who's 6'10 at the center position, James Posey, who's 6'8, Vince Carter, who's 6'6, and Craig Elo, who's 6'7. We're running small ball, but we're running a lineup, 1 through 4 that can shoot. And Jarvis Hayes, I'm going to show you guys, he has a hot spot or a hot zone at the right corner, which I think is going to be very interesting, because his jumper is actually really easy to time. Even though he only has a 59 three-pointer, I feel like it's relatively easy to green, all things considered. Mario Chalmers coming off the bench, I think having him is so important. He's so good, he's so fast, and what's nice, if this ends up not working for me, I can go back to running Mario Chalmers and Austin Rivers, and with me now having Jarvis Hayes at the center spot, only eating up 800 of my salary, that puts me in a nice position to mix and match and throw in other players who I really like. I want to also take another second to talk about a player who I've talked about so much in this series, and that is Jarvis Hayes. He has such an ugly jumper, but every time I get him the ball and he's wide open, it's always in the second half of a salary cap game, and he usually hits the 3 to break the game open for me. And I rarely miss with Jarvis Hayes. I don't know why. His jumper is so bad, and I feel like because it's so bad, because it's so slow, it forces me to only take wide open 3s with him. And for that reason, I feel like I'm able to green them, because I'm taking good shots with a player that has a bad jumper. So I guess that's kind of nice. That's the one nice thing about having a bad jumper, is it forces you to take open shots only, and Jarvis Hayes has been knocking all those down. And in a way, similar to a Jarvis Hayes, Jarvis Hayes can do everything else really, really well, especially given his overall. He's a great defender. He's a good rebounder. He's relatively fast, moving up and down the floor. Pretty good size at 6'8", and 87 3 ball is really not bad. Again, it's just that jumper. 84 perimeter and 78 interior is not bad. 79 speed, also not bad at all for an Emerald at the power forward position. His speed rating is actually better than a lot of the cards that we got out of today's set, which I can quickly show you guys. I did talk about it in the previous video that I uploaded. I mean, by the time this video is uploaded, I think it's going to be like a few hours after the Barons of Ball video that I dropped would have gone live. A lot of these cards here, like Chandler Parsons, has like 73 speed. Robin Lopez is slow. Jalen Rose is slow. The only player who's fast in this set is JJ Barea, and I don't really want to run an 800 salary, 94 speed point guard who's 3'7". I just don't want to do it. No interest. So yeah, none of these cards today are good, unfortunately. Oh, one other thing before we get into a shoot around, I want to show you guys the hotspot for Purvis Ellison, because I did not know this actually. All I knew was that his jumper was easy to time. Another option at point guard, a card that I've talked about a lot on this channel, a player who I love so much. Bimbo Coles is back down to 500 salary, which is really nice. Again, to use the same sort of analogy I used before when we were talking about Eduardo Nahara going up from 1,500 salary to 2,000 salary, and how you're effectively losing a pretty good Sapphire player in the mix. You know, again, a guy like Otto Porter, someone like that. For Bimbo Coles to go down from 800 to 500, I can now bring in a good Emerald at 300 salary. And who is an example of a good Emerald card who can provide a ton of value for you at only 300 salary? Jarvis Hayes. 300 salary. I gas this card up, I feel like, in every single episode. So if you want to run Bimbo Coles, you could run Bimbo Coles and Jarvis Hayes, and the two of them combined will cost you the exact amount of salary that Bimbo Coles cost you a week ago. So, yeah, this is where I'm at with the team right now. Just to show you guys the hotspot or the hot zone, whatever the proper terminology is for Purvis Ellison. Hayes is the Ruby MJ. What's up, Andy? Just to show you guys really quickly. Purvis Ellison. Yeah. Hotspot up here and in the right corner, which is actually awesome because if you're running a pick and pop, I don't know if I want to take a 3 with him up top from here. But you should be able to green this every once in a while. Look at that. I just greened a 3-pointer. And just to show you guys, I'm using the button. I'm not using the pro stick. And I'm on high risk reward right now. Purvis Ellison has a shot that you can green with. Okay, that's a midi by accident. Oops, sorry. But Purvis Ellison has a pretty decent jumper. Can I green one more with him? Let's see. Nope, slightly early still. Is that going to be slightly early as well? There we go. We greened another. So he's the guy where if you can green even just 1 3, maybe even 2 3s in a salary cap game, he gives you so much else in every other category, whether it's his speed, his size, his rebounding, his badges, and then his 800 salary, which I know is the highest value that a Sapphire player can get salary-wise. But Purvis Ellison is basically like an amethyst card, in my opinion. So if you can make that jumper work for you, this card is going to be an absolute demon. I'd rather run him than a guy like a Pau Gasol. Again, it's just getting used to that jumper. It is a little tricky sometimes, but I feel like it's much easier to green and it's much faster than a guy like a Pau Gasol, whose jumper is just so slow. Yeah. So yeah, Purvis Ellison, really, really fun card. And then last thing, because it's something that I forgot to do until I was playing salary cap last week. I think I played 1 game without him, even though I have him. If you guys completed the exchange last week for Eric Spoelstra, make sure you add him. I think Eric Spoelstra's value, while yeah, he shines in Showdown, everyone has God squads in Showdown, his value I think is really there for salary cap, because salary cap is all about the margins. And while you, like, for example, if you look at my team, right, I'm going to be relying a lot on Brandon Jennings to carry my offense, but I don't really like doing ISO. I really like scoring with everyone on my team. I like trying to find the open man and scoring with them. That's usually what works for me. I don't really have one player that's averaging more than like 30 to 40% of my team's total points. And so I want to be able to do that and not be hurt by the fact that I have Brandon Jennings eating almost a quarter of my team's salary. I think having a guy like Eric Spoelstra, who's going to be able to boost a guy like Jarvis Hayes up to a 91 3-pointer, is really, really invaluable. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys found this video to be helpful. I'm really hoping that we get some other salary cap beasts, some more budget beasts on Friday, because we've now had 3 promos in a row. The 2010s promo that we got last Tuesday, the laser focus promo that we had on Friday of last week, and now this Barons of Ball set that came out today that have really not had any budget beasts of note, and that's really frustrating. I think we need more budget players to use in salary cap. Hopefully we get them. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.